Where the hell have you been, Loca? If I was good at editing, you guys, I would have inserted the clip, but I'm not. So this is what you get. You get a generic great value. Where the hell have you been, Loca? But hello, loves. I have missed talking with you guys, and I haven't posted since October, since I stopped putting pressure on myself to be consistent. Not that I haven't wanted to post. I still feel drawn to making content. Life has just lifed. And I want to share a little bit with you guys about what's been happening. So, where to start? So, I last posted in October, end of the year, you know, holidays, family, stuff that comes up with family. And gosh, I don't even remember what I did for the new year. Um, I think I chilled. I chilled at home. Um, a lot of this stuff takes place in the new year anyway, in January in 2026. So we'll start with the good stuff, right? So as we know, on this channel, on this page, I am spiritually aligned, and I'm just I'm on my spiritual path, right? And I'm woo woo, so if you're following me, you should know that. I just say that because the woo woo stuff's not everyone's thing, but I'm a bit woo woo. So we're talking chakras, crystals, all that stuff. So sorry, guys, I'm a bit congested, and that's going to be part of my story. Anyway, good news is I got certified in Reiki's level 1 and 2, which is very exciting. I've wanted to do it for a while. I've been drawn to Reiki for a while. I've had only 2 sessions personally, but just felt called to learn how to do it myself. And I came across a local spiritual teacher who, they're a Reiki master, and I got a session from them, and it went great. And they picked up on things about me that was very like we're talking crying, right? And so uh, I decided to do their training and to get level 1 and 2 certified. And it was such so it was split into 2 weekends, and it was such an impactful experience that this video there's not gonna be enough time to explain. But it was impactful, transforming, life changing. The people I met were such beautiful souls, and I still have imposter syndrome about doing this work. Any being a healer in general, even being a therapist, I have imposter syndrome. So doing Reiki, I, still have it, but the teacher was amazing and affirming, and it was powerful stuff. And now I have to figure out what I want to do next with the Reiki. So I have to think about that. I am getting sound healing certified in March. So I'm very excited to do that. I've been drawn to just incorporate more spiritual stuff into my life because I felt something was missing and I didn't know what it was. And I think just that, the spiritual aspect. And I'm glad to be leading into it more. So that's a positive. And I'm very happy that I did that for myself. I want to go on to get master level training in the summer. So that will be good. That will be exciting. And so there's that. Negative news or negative stuff, not so great. I've been feeling physically crappy since like end of January. So you guys know I have multiple sclerosis, MS, and I've shared that my current medication is a twice a year infusion called Ocrevus. And so I get my infusions done in January and July. Um, I I hit my out of pocket pretty quick. So, hey, like what are the positives, I guess? Because this infusion is like $100,000 without insurance. Gotta love the medical system. So I had my first infusion in January, and my veins are crap, guys. Like they are shallow and small, and they like I don't know how like the people who do my IVs and blood draws describe it. Like they'll split. It's just they're not the best veins if you're chronically ill, right? And so I've had nurses dig. They My veins will roll around. They have bursted. It's been very traumatic. So so much I've had to get medication to help me relax when I get any type of IV now. Even when I do blood draws, it can be a little anxiety inducing, but IVs generally tend to be worse. So I prepared as best as I could, which is drinking water because that's really all I can do. And when so before they gave me the actual IV of Ocrevus, they gave me Tylenol, like the pill, and they gave me Benadryl through an IV. And that is to prevent me having any sort of reaction to the Ocrevus, right? Because my body's interpreting the Ocrevus as like, what is this? But the Benadryl and Tylenol is supposed to help with that. Never had an issue until this time. And I think that's because my veins decided to especially not cooperate this time. So I needed to have an IV put on me like it took 3 times. So the first IV, the nurse got it in the first time. I thought we good. We golden, right? I was so ecstatic. I thought, yes, drinking that crap ton of water helped. And then so it switched to another nurse and she started pushing saline through the IV and to do that to clean it out. And it started to burn. And I suck at advocating for myself, especially in the medical system. And I told her, I'm like, it's burning. Saline shouldn't burn, right? For context. And she says, well, it's probably a shock to your system. As long as it's not swelling, you should be fine. Spoiler alert, my arm started to swell like as soon as she walked away because she set an IV for like sodium chloride or something. And it started to swell like a couple minutes later. And I had to call the nurse button or press the call nurse button. And so nurse put another IV in. She tried to, that vein started to burst. So she called another nurse who put an IV in, and that IV seemed to cooperate, right? However, the time between the Tylenol and the Benadryl it was like now further and further along, right? So I believe there was such a gap of time between the Tylenol and Benadryl and the Ocrevus that I had somewhat of a reaction to it. And I mean, they can't give me more Benadryl or Tylenol because that's just how it is, right? So I felt really crappy the weekend after. I think I had a reaction. Um, I it was so much like congestion. I think my eyelids were swelling. I felt nauseous that time. It just was bad. It was bad. And luckily that went away. But then I felt good for like a day or two. And then all of a sudden I'm really, really congested. And I don't know if it's still related to that. I know it was really, really cold here where I live, and now it warmed up all of a sudden. So I don't know if it's just allergies, but I've been feeling crappy, and I've been having this really, really bad cough. It's lightened up quite a bit now, but it was really bad to the point I was like gagging. Once again, congested, can't really breathe. Uh, just bad, feeling like crap. So I just I don't want to do anything when I feel like that. um, and I haven't been really feeling great and feeling like a body, or I've been upset at being a body, and that's kind of it. This video is literally at the 10-minute mark already. But that's kind of a rundown of where I'm at and where I've been. And I've just been feeling like not great. So, but I hope to post some more for you guys. And I will see you in the next one.